8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Indrani Senanaika. The headlines. The President advises the authorities to solve the problems of agri-lands soon. Another 406 COVID cases have been reported. Cases will be fined against the institutions that violate quarantine rules. The committee report on the eastern jetty of the Colombo port will be handed over to the subject minister. In foreign news, Taiwan reports first COVID-19 death in 8 months. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has advised officials to provide opportunities for farmers to continue their cultivation on lands which were traditionally cultivated. He said to remove the cases filed under old circulars with the implementation of the new rules in this regard. Opportunities will be given to farmers to continue their agricultural activities with utmost facilities provided. Participating in the Gama Samaga Pilisandarak program, he advised the relevant authorities to prepare new rules for the betterment of farmers, taking into consideration their demands. He also said that he has signed 17,000 deeds for lands which have solved their problems. Sri Lanka's COVID-19 figures soared as 406 more positive cases were registered today. As per the statistics, the total number of COVID-19 infections confirmed so far in the country now stands at 62,851. Recoveries from the virus, meanwhile, climbed to 56,277 earlier today, as 879 more patients regained health. However, 6,269 active cases are still under medical care at selected hospitals and treatment centres located across the island. Total lives claimed by the pandemic outbreak in Sri Lanka sits at 305 at present. Police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana says that 30 suspects have been arrested during the last 24 hours for not wearing face masks and failing to social distance. He also requested the public to pay their attention to follow the health guidelines. More than 10,000 institutions have been inspected to ascertain whether they implemented the health guidelines. He said cases have been filed against 1,223 heads of institutions who violated quarantine rules. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. We continue with local news. Vehicle parking places will be set up in the Colombo city to solve the traffic congestion in the city. Accordingly, 12 such parking places are to be established under the advice of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. The Ministry of Urban Development said that a vehicle park will be constructed at the National Hospital, the Eye Hospital and the Town Hall area as a remedy to solve the traffic congestion. Plans are also underway to construct vehicle parks in Fort, Peta, Union Place and in Narahenpita as well. District Manager of the Paddy Marketing Board, TMK Tennakun, says all arrangements are ready to purchase the paddy harvest from the Anuradhapura district. He told the SLBC that around 37,000 metric tons of paddy are to be purchased. He said 60,000 metric tons of paddy could be stored at the district's storage facilities. Next, we take a look at the main news story.
Knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Chairman of the Ports Authority, General Daya Ratnaika, says that the issues which have arisen regarding the eastern jetty of the Colombo port could be solved favourably. The committee report submitted to find solutions will be handed over to Minister Rohitha Abegunawardena tomorrow after having discussions with the relevant sections. He made these remarks at a media briefing held this evening in Colombo. That was our main news story. Watchlight is next.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
Watchlight. The Sri Lanka Air Force has requested the public to refrain from sending kites, balloons or drones into the sky in the general area of Colombo. It has made the request as Air Force fly-past rehearsals for the 73rd Independence Day are underway in Colombo from the 28th of January to the 4th of February, where aircraft is flying very low. That was Watchlight. A bulletin of world news will follow.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines. Taiwan reports first COVID-19 death in 8 months. WHO team visits China's PR facility in Wuhan. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson is in awe of pandemic parents. Taiwan has reported the first death from the coronavirus infection in 8 months as it battles a small outbreak of new cases. Health Minister Chen Shih-chung told reporters today that 1 of 4 people who tested positive has died. The victim was a woman in her 80s. The woman had been quarantined after a nurse who lived with her tested positive. The elderly woman developed a fever on Thursday. She was confirmed infected with the virus yesterday and died later in the day. An international team of experts from the World Health Organization on a visit to China to investigate the coronavirus pandemic visited a facility in Wuhan to see what steps the government took to try and control the infection. Today, the team heard from the doctors and nurses at a hospital that treated many seriously ill patients during the initial stage of the outbreak. The team then made a 2.5-hour visit to an exhibition hall that served as a temporary medical facility as the infection was spreading. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has said parents have risen to the challenge of the pandemic as they cope with the pressure of homeschooling. In an open letter, the Prime Minister described how COVID had brought out the very best in a great many people. But some parents have said Mr. Johnson doesn't get the pressures they are facing. It comes after the government confirmed England's schools will remain closed to most pupils until at least the 8th of March. To end this bulletin of world news, the headlines again. Taiwan reports first COVID-19 death in 8 months. WHO team visits China's PR facility in Wuhan. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson in awe of pandemic parents. That ends this bulletin of world news. Development news is up next.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development news. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has instructed the Urban Development Authority to develop the old markets in Colombo as market complexes, providing multi-public service facilities. Accordingly, the Urban Development Authority and the Colombo Municipal Council have decided to develop a 45-year-old Kolopitia market, which was established in 1976 as a mixed development project first. That was development news. A look at sports news next. Sports Minister Nama Rajapaksa says 3 sports training centres with modern technology facilities will be set up in order to provide high-standard training for the sportsmen and women of the country. The relevant places have already been selected for this. Meanwhile, the register of new officers named for the Cricket Committee has been approved by the Minister. That was a look at sports news. Business news follows.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Sri Lanka China Trade and Investment Promotion Chamber is supporting an initiative by Skyline Profits Travel in Sri Lanka to bring down large groups of Chinese tourists to the country. President of the Chamber, Nihal Aluvihare, said that his organisation will support Skyline, which is offering novel holiday packages to bring Chinese tourists to uplift the tourism sector and strengthen the economy. That was business news. Economic news follows.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic News. Courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. It will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh, no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
An agile business model was a cornerstone to Expo Lanka Holding PLC, sustaining its strong growth momentum during the latest quarter, which ended 31st December 2020. The company attributed its performance to staying on the path of a focused and consistent growth strategy while remaining flexible and optimizing opportunities in a dynamic operating environment. The quarter's performance has resulted in the groups generating a revenue of 143.2 billion rupees and a profit after tax of 10.8 billion rupees for the first 9 months ending 31st December 2020. That was economic news. Finally, a look at the weather report.
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Finally, a look at the weather report. The Met Department says showers will occur at times in the northern, north-central, eastern and the over provinces and in the Matale and Nuwara Elia districts. Fairly heavy falls, about 75 millimetres, can be expected at some places in the eastern province and in the Polonnaruwa, Matale and Mullaitivu districts. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places in the western and Sabaragamu provinces and in the Galle, Matara and Kandy districts after 2 p.m. Fairly heavy falls, above 50 millimetres, can be expected at some places. Misty conditions can be expected in the western, central, Sabaragamu and southern provinces during the morning. That was the weather report. To end tonight's news broadcast, we take a look at the headlines again. The President advises the authorities to solve the problems of agri-land soon. Another 406 COVID cases have been reported. Cases will be filed against institutions that violate quarantine rules. The committee report on the eastern jetty of the Colombo port will be handed over to the subject minister. In foreign news, Taiwan reports first COVID-19 death in 8 months. That ends tonight's news broadcast.